Hello, friends. Today, we're diving into the story of the first battles fought by the United States. These were conflicts that shaped the nation's early history and tested its resolve. If you love exploring historical events, make sure to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more fascinating stories. Chapter 1. The background of the conflict and causes of the war. After the signing of the peace treaty with Great Britain in 1783, the young American nation faced a new but equally brutal struggle against the native peoples who were not willing to surrender without a fight. The Northwestern Territory, which included what are now the states of Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, was considered key to the country's expansion. However, these lands were home to native tribes who saw the arriving settlers as a direct threat to their existence. The American government sought to establish its authority in these territories to ensure the settlers' safety. Yet, native tribes such as the Miami, Delaware, and Cheyenne were determined to protect their lands, traditions, and right to exist. Chapter 2. The first battles and defeats of the U.S. Army. The bloody clashes began almost immediately. One of the most painful episodes was the Battle of the Wabash in 1791, also known as St. Clair's defeat. The U.S. Army, poorly prepared and poorly equipped, faced the united forces of native tribes. In this battle, the United States lost nearly half its forces, and the defeat became a true humiliation for the young nation. This failure revealed not only the vulnerabilities of the U.S. Army but also the need for a strategic overhaul. Native leaders, such as Chief Little Turtle, proved their military genius and ability to lead successful campaigns against a superior enemy. Chapter 3. The heroism of native leaders and their fight for freedom. Native tribes demonstrated remarkable unity and heroism in defending their lands. Chief Little Turtle emerged as one of the most prominent leaders of this war, leading the resistance against American expansion. His tactics, based on surprise attacks and skillful use of the terrain, inflicted significant damage on the enemy. The natives fought not only for their land but also to preserve their culture, traditions, and freedom. Their struggle was deeply rooted in the understanding that they were defending not just themselves but the future of their peoples. However, despite their heroism, the odds were against them, and the pressure from the Americans continued to grow. Chapter 4. A turning point. The U.S. victory. The turning point came in 1794 when the U.S. Army, led by General Anthony Wayne, won the decisive Battle of Fallen Timbers. Wayne, known as Mad Anthony for his determination and leadership skills, reorganized the army, improved discipline, and trained the soldiers, turning them into a formidable force. This decisive victory allowed the U.S. to sign the Treaty of Greenville in 1795, through which the native tribes ceded a significant portion of their lands. This marked the end of the Northwest Indian Wars. Chapter 5. The aftermath of the wars for both sides. The U.S. victory was a major step in its expansion, paving the way for thousands of American settlers to move into the Northwestern Territory. However, for the native peoples, this war was a tragedy. Tribes lost much of their lands and were forced to relocate to less hospitable areas. Many were unable to rebuild their communities, leading to the loss of cultural traditions. For the young American nation, it was a step toward becoming a great power. But the price paid by the native peoples became an indelible part of North American history.